Welcome to Lunch with the Boys. My name is Cody Anderson, and I'm joined by Jordan Vogel. And if you are new here, we represent Good Rep Media. We're both part of Good Rep Media. I have been with Good Rep Media for about a year now. Jordan's been with them a little bit longer. But we are a small business marketing agency. We help small businesses rank better on Google. We come live every Tuesday at noon to talk about small businesses and how they can kind of improve their online presence and do all that type of thing. How are you feeling about today, my dude? I've
Uh,
woke up today feeling really low energy, and I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest with you, it's
I
it's getting
kind
there.
of did too. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Like how I felt an hour and a half ago versus how I feel right now is actually kind of drastically different because like in the past like 30 minutes, the sun has really started to kind of come through my window, which is kind of shifting the whole mood. I went out there, I went and I got my caffeine. I hopped on the scooter, got a little fresh air, rolled out there, picked that up, came back, and honestly, I'm feeling a little bit more ready to go than I was probably about 45 minutes to an hour ago.
Well, you went out with and you've talked about it a number of times. You got yourself a little scooter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say little scooter. You got yourself
Yeah,
a motorized
yeah,
monstrosity.
it's not a monstrosity. It's a step above a razor scooter. It just has like a little button that makes it go.
Well, and you said how fast can it go?
So it's supposed to go up to like 22, but like yesterday driving it, like the fastest I got it was like 20, and that was downhill. Um, like mostly it cruises like right around like 17
I wonder if
on
it
flat
has
ground.
like safety features that prevent it from speeding or going too
I don't
fast.
know, but I mean the thing said 22 miles an hour on it when I purchased it. So
Well, hey man, I'm ready to storm the Capitol. I'm ready to get down there. But
I feel like it goes a little faster after I charge it. Like coming right off a charge, it seems like it's got a little more get up and go.
yeah, fair, fair, fair. But we wanted to get in today. We're gonna do on point as best we can because I think this topic is pretty good, pretty interesting. We want to talk about when you're starting off a new business, what to look for, what not to look for, what metrics matter, and in those first couple of months of starting a new business, how do you want to set your mind? Basically, if you are going into it and you're like, I'm gonna start a new business. This is how I want my first 3 months to go. What are some goals that you can set? How can you kind of approach that for the most success? And I'll be honest, man, we haven't started a whole bunch of businesses. We've done good rep, and I think good rep is most of what my experience has been for starting things. But I've done a lot of reading, and it's pretty interesting. Those first couple of months, I compare it to what we've been talking about for New Year's resolutions because we've been talking about these resolutions and been talking about self help for so long. It's a lot of set goals, realistic, achievable goals. What was the SMART term that we came up with or we
That
found
was
that one day?
exactly it. It's smart. It's a specific, measurable.
Yeah,
Um, this is where I start to fall off because I remember a couple of them feel like the same thing.
attributable,
Huh? Uh,
attributable,
no, I don't think it was attributable. It was Oh man, I should know these. We learned them in like elementary school.
specific, measurable, achievable,
Achievable.
relevant, and time bound.
Fair, yeah.
So, when you're a small business, what that basically boils down to is in your first like 3 months, what do you want to accomplish? In your first month, what do you want to accomplish? Set some actual goals for that.
Yeah.
But we've talked to a couple of different business owners, and we've definitely talked to some who have dealt with poor marketing agencies. Um, I've got a note about vanity metrics here. What are your thoughts on vanity metrics? You got any off the top of your head?
Um, so I mean, specifically like having them off the top of my head, yeah, like obviously, there's like little things like, you know, like like you kind of said an example before we started here, which I shouldn't reference because they nobody here heard that. But like you talked about like, like an owner being like, oh, we want to rank better. And it's like, okay, yeah, that is something that you want to do, but like that isn't something that's just like that's vanity because it's like better is subjective
Yeah,
sometimes,
you want to be better. Those are like the measurable goals. I feel like okay, as an example, I sit down to talk to a business owner and I'm immediately asking them, "Hey, what do you need help with in your business?" And they come back to me in all of these I call them fact finding calls, but it's much more like the 30-minute free audits that I offer. Whenever I have a chance to do those, whenever anyone comes through, I ask them what they're looking for help with. And I'll be real, I get a lot more blank faces than anything else
Yeah.
because they're like, I don't really need help with things, or they have one specific problem, and it's that they've been trying to get their payment processor to get on the phone with them to solve the specific fee that they don't think they should be paying. And it's really hyper specific issues. And it's realizing that these business owners, one, they've either never talked to a marketing agency, and so therefore they don't know what they need. They don't know what a website visitor is. They don't know what an impression is. Or two, they've been burned by marketing agencies and they're like, I only want you to solve a specific issue that my previous marketing agency did, which was handle my payment processor. That's all they did, and they did it well, and I didn't trust them for anything else.
Well, I mean, you got to think, if you're going to if you're going to a marketing agency, like, hey, I need to improve. A lot of the times, it's like you're going to them to tell you what to improve. If it's like, hey, I know I need a better logo, my website needs to be better, I need to have a bigger social media presence. You know all the things we're about to tell you. Then it's like, skip us, go get someone who's going to do it. Like, well, we will, but like I'm saying, like,
I was gonna say exactly.
I'm saying, like, you could handle what we do. Like, you could build a team that does the stuff if you know what to do, and you don't need a marketing team for it. But like, ultimately, a lot of business owners don't know those things, and that's when you need the marketing team to tell you that. And then once you have someone who can tell you that, it's really convenient because that same team will then be able to be like, we'll take care of it for you.
See, but the scenario that we're describing sets you up for a disaster. It sets you up for what I call the trap of vanity metrics, because you, as a business owner at that point, are trusting in a third party agency such as us to tell you which metrics matter. And as a business owner, you can't do everything. That's why we're here to kind of educate you on these things. And that's why this is an important episode if you do want to start your own business, if you're looking at if you do own your own business already, like, you need to understand that there are metrics, stats that can be presented to you that don't matter but look really good.
Yes.
And when I get into those types of stats, I always think of like Search Console stats. You can manipulate those stats to go whatever time period you want. And if I'm not a statistician, but hey, if the 28-day stats look green, but the 7-day stats look red, I'm going to show you the 28-day.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the types of issues in the reportings that you can get from a little bit shadier marketing agencies who will show you, hey, everything is looking good by manipulating the days, the specific pages that they're showing you, the types of data.
How someone presents something is everything, like you could show someone like, hey, look at how good we're doing at this. And it's like, if you don't know, like, oh, conversions versus like, oh, just like this is how many people came to your website, and you can show like, hey, we had a bunch of people on your website, but like your conversions are red, and all of a sudden you haven't gotten a single one from that. But I'm showing you, hey, look, I just got 1,000 people to come to your website. None of them bought anything, but look at how good I'm doing. It's like, it's all in how you present it. And if you're a business owner who doesn't understand like, oh, this is like what you need versus like what you're getting, you can fall into that pit that you're talking there.
And there are a lot of disreputable agencies out there. I think it's worth noting, when I talk to clients, when I talk to small business owners, a lot of them have dealt with disreputable agencies, or agencies that kind of hide behind a face. They don't talk about their pricing. They are not transparent. They will not talk about what's going on with them. And it's almost as though they hide behind this veneer of professionalism so that they can get the high value, insurance or lawyer contact, when that lawyer who's ranking on Google, the secret sauce for them is they have an agency, a marketing agency. They have a couple of VAs who will call all of your previous clients and ask for reviews, and then send them a link. They'll set up an easy review funnel to get more reviews. They'll optimize your Google business profile exactly as we've described on this page multiple times. There's nothing special out there. There are some secret sauces at this point, but those are figured out. At this point, AI is around, and the secret sauce is a lot less, oh, make sure you have everything labeled correctly, and much more, make sure your brand is consistent and your messaging is the same across all platforms.
Yeah.
And that's, hey, SBO, search brand optimization.
Yeah. So us here at Good Rep, like, we pride ourselves kind of in our transparency. We're almost honest to a fault.
100%. It's probably our biggest flaw.
Yeah. I was gonna say, do you think that has hurt us with any of our clients so far? We've been lucky enough that like even some of our internal or our external clients are slightly internal for some of them, but some of
Yeah.
them like are true external clients. Do you feel like, have you ever been like in one of our calls with someone like our massage client and been like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have been that transparent? But then in that same note, do you think maybe it did help us even though you felt that?
I think that I think Good Rep has a really great value proposition.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm bluntly honest about things, I come at it realistically.
Yeah.
I think that people understand we need to make money, we need to make a profit. People in this day and age, if you're an influencer and you're promoting a product, yeah, you understand that that influencer is making money to promote that product. If your influencer has a Red Bull, thing behind them and they're streaming on Twitch 24/7 and they're calling out Red Bull, they probably have a sponsorship. If they're Get out of here, Jordan. You're gonna go put your shady rays on while you do this. But very much so, there's this idea of like influencers, people online, agencies, people need to eat, people do need to make money, and there is value in that. So what we do is we provide that value without bloat. I don't know if this is appropriate to call out, and this is where being honest to a fault can be difficult,
Mm-hmm.
but we've dealt with one of our clients who was very much wanting to get some video content done. And so they reached out to a third party. They were like, "Hey, I want to." They got headhunted. Basically, they had another agency reach out and sell them on some video services, and they had a really good pitch. They had a really good funnel, and then he ended up getting some stuff done. It ended up being about 10 times what he thought he was going to pay. My assumption, an actual absurd amount, and he just did not realize because he'd gotten too far into the funnel and was trying to be pleasant and polite, and so he ended up paying a lot for not very much.
Yeah.
And when he came to us about it, he was basically like, "Hey, so this happened. We had this. This is great. Will you use this content?" And we're like, "Bet, 100%." Did you feel like you got value? That's awesome. Like we don't want to be egotistical
Yeah.
about it. Like, yeah,
Well,
you
I
went to
mean,
another
we were
agency.
there with him the whole time. Like
Yeah,
he had came to us and he's like, "Hey, I'm working with this guy." And I'm like, "Hey, that's awesome."
yeah,
Like I mean, again, he'd almost pitched it like he was doing things like more than like what the product he'd gotten from him. So
yeah,
like we were like, yeah, we'll work hand in hand with this guy. Like we don't want to like step on any feet. Like if you think you can get value working with another person, as long as like you are still open to working with us, we're not going to stress about that. And so like that was great, but then all of a sudden we were sitting there like, what are you getting from this?
yeah.
Like you got like some videos, but that didn't sound like that was what you were looking for at all. And so
It
there's
ended with a
definitely
little
that.
bit of a scenario where we kind of looked at it, and to be blunt, we're like, "Hey, we can probably produce something similar. We'll figure this out." And the Good Rep way, we'll go figure it out. We're gonna
Yeah,
figure it out, and we're gonna do it for a lot cheaper. We're gonna source everything. We're gonna solve this problem, and we're going to figure out how we can go and like shoot. We're gonna hire a videographer. We're gonna freelance this, and we're gonna go do some shooting. We've got in-house video editors, so we should be good there. But we're gonna go make this work, and I'm really excited to kind of solve a problem. But in doing this, we were very communicative with our client about, "Hey, so we've done some shorts, we've done content before, we do our own content here, so we have a little bit of experience filming, editing, posting, getting all of this stuff done. uh, we're going to have to hire a freelance videographer," which, I mean, we could hide behind the agency and be like, "Oh, we've got a network that we can highlight." Sure, but it's paid off, to be blunt and honest. And
yeah,
this all ended up with us getting him as a client, being like, "You bet, let's set this up. We've got a date. We're going to shoot, and we're going to gain the experience of doing the thing.
yeah,
And in the future, maybe we'll be able to charge more, and we'll have a network, and we'll have a way
exactly.
of doing this, and we'll be able to set up an SOP to repeat this process for any future clients who want the service."
Exactly. And it's awesome to have a client who understands when we're like, hey, we're new to this. So like that's why we're giving you a good deal. But like you're walking through this with us. You're discovering this with us. And he's almost excited about that, because he's like, oh, like there's room for growth. These guys are excited to grow and they're being honest with me about it.
Yeah.
And I think that builds trust, that builds a relationship. Like we had the massage client like earlier in the month. Remember, he like messaged us like, hey guys, we should meet up this year. Like let's go like watch a game, get drinks, stuff like that. And I was like, that's cool. Like that made
Yeah.
me feel good because like our openness and honestness like has made more than a client. It's kind of made a friend, and like that is nice.
Well, it's I think it comes back to community, and I do
Yeah.
really enjoy that. I do want to highlight
I got
really quick this comment here. How long does it even take to get a biz off the ground? It can take forever. I'll be real. I don't have a set timeline for you, but I know that if you are, I always come back to this example, and so I want to. How do I say this? I want to preface this with like a. I know card shops are not everyone's thing. Not everyone does card shops. This is not everyone's favorite deal. So with that said, if you're going to start a card shop, you want to be making some type of profit in the first month. You want to have a system built out, and then you want to be able to expand in month two. You want to have your offer. You want to get something down and be able to make money in that first month. I don't think that if you're starting a brand new business and you're spending the first 3 months trying to put things together without any income, you are in a good spot. I think that's the work you should be doing while employed somewhere else. That's the
Mhm.
side hustle setup before you transition to doing this. And if you have the time and the capabilities to spend 3 months setting up and preparing to do something like a card shop or your own small business, take that time and definitely set up processes, set up real goals. Make sure you set up a realistic timeline of in these 3 months, this is what I want to accomplish. Because I feel like I'm going to do a peek behind the curtain here, Jordan. So I've
Okay.
got a friend who lost his job, quit his job about 3, 4 months before Christmas. And I've talked to him a couple of times and been like, "Hey, so what's your game plan? What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh well, I'm gonna be looking for something. I'm gonna be taking a month off." Contacting him after that month, and he's like, "Okay, well, I'm still feeling a little whatever. We've got vacation. I've got savings." So he skated for another couple of months, and then it was holidays, and so now it's January, and it's still kind of skating, and it's like, "Hey, so like, what are you going to do and when?"
Hmm.
And it's really difficult, especially with new projects, starting a new job, starting a small business. They're very similar things, to nail down a I'm going to do it now.
Yeah.
How do you handle that, man? How would you handle that situation of nailing down that date?
So I get a lot of like what that guy's probably going through because like I know firsthand. I mean, I don't know about him or like what he's like, but because I don't know who you're talking about,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
um, I know for me, I get like really bad anxiety during job hunting. Like I like to the point of like not even the interview process. Like I'm almost better by the time I'm interviewing. It is like the literally filling out the application and submitting it. And so like I do get where it's like, ooh, I'm just gonna hold off a little bit. I just need a little bit of time. And then like you just keep pushing it and you just keep pushing it. It's one of those things where you're like your mindset has to adjust. You have to be able to like push through that anxiety or that fear and start. And I do think you're right. Like if you're like, hey, like the goals we talk about, set a goal, be like, okay, I have a week, I have Monday through Friday right now, I got 5 days. Like if I plug out, if I take just an hour and I do 2 applications a day every day for that, I can end the week with 10 applications. So like let's set that as a goal, 2 applications per day. Write it down, put it on your board, do whatever you like, download your Fench app, like add it to your checklist. Take whatever steps you need to not only like get yourself past that anxiety, but to remind yourself why you need to.
Well,
I think that's the big thing for me.
and to frankly hold yourself accountable.
Yes.
Like holding yourself accountable at the end of the day is going to be like you are your own accountability buddy. Like
Yes.
let's be real. If you're going to want to do something, you need to be able to do it. And so, very, very similarly, how long does it take to get a business off the ground? Just highlight the question one more time. It can take any amount of time. If you have lead up, if you have the ability, if you're already employed right now and you can do something as a side hustle, do that, get it set up until you start earning money, and then you know that you can scale it. For example, Etsy shops. If you're going to run an Etsy shop, you make a little doohickey, whatever your doohickey is going to be. Um, Good one that I saw recently, sticker shop. One of my good friends, Terry, I'm gonna talk about Terry. I'm gonna call him out here. If they go
Maybe
to
that.
True, It's True Champion Gaming. There, I was going to say I don't have anything for him here, but Terry Elizondo, he's a great guy. He plays a Grand Archive, which is a trading card game. He's one of the nationally ranked players. He went to the Pro Tour. His buddy was number one, won the Pro Tour of it, and he was like second or third or something like that. He traveled for it, it's whole thing. But his wife is creating a little Etsy shop, a side project where she creates stickers of the characters from Grand Archive and like keychains and stuff like that.
Hmm.
You know what else she does? She works a full-time job while she does this kind of side project for herself of creating this sticker shop. And what I would suggest is you work a full-time job while you set that up. She's going
Yeah.
to set it up. She's going to get sales. She's going to build up an email list. And then she has an email list of 100 people who have bought from her. She has an audience. She has a Facebook group that has some likes and follows. She has a way to kind of scale this up. And that's where you want to be.
Yeah. So when I saw that question, how long does it even take to get a business off the ground? It was like one that's like it's so hard to answer that because every situation is situational. And like, like if you're already have one business and you're trying to start another and you have the resources, capital, and everything to move it along quick and easy, that's going to happen a lot faster than if you're working a 9 to 5 and you're like, oh, this is something that I kind of want to do. That's going to take months of planning, preparation, and everything else. Whereas if you own 3 franchised Subways and you have a bunch of money and you kind of want to go start a little store or something, you could probably just go put the money there. You could find employees to run that for you and stuff like that would run it. So there's a lot of different like opportunities that you can take. There's a lot of different situations that you may find yourself in. I also don't know. I've never started a business. Like we help businesses with their reputation, but like we've never really like built a business from the ground up. So that's a really hard one for me to answer. But we've been in a situation where we know like the owner of our parent company opens a fair share of businesses. So we've seen that. So I do kind of get that idea. And from that, I've seen they can start pretty quick. You can start a business really fast.
Yeah, well, and that's a much different scenario to be in. It's worth noting. So our owner, Joey Matterhorn himself on the Joey Matterhorn channel, he is an accomplished business person and he appreciates and tries to work in the local sphere because it's more fun for him. He likes supporting locally, honestly. And I may maybe a little gracious with Joe. I think I said something about mentor yesterday that I definitely am
That was
walking back a
crazy.
little bit.
That was crazy. Emily was in the comments like, that's wild.
But Joe's got a lot of empathy. And so
He
he
does.
really does like to start local businesses and be able to, for example, run a lawn care company because he likes hanging out with lawn guys and providing them a consistent income workplace and figuring out a new industry for himself. And so we've definitely watched, hey, I've started a lawn care company. And I think he ran that lawn care company for about a year where it just kind of didn't do anything and he
Yeah.
struggled. And then all of a sudden we came on as Good Rep Media,
Yeah.
boom, to the moon. We did the Doge thing where it actually went crazy.
And
And we got it. Oh, go ahead.
so I was just gonna say to the point of the lawn care company. I remember when you started it, and I remember sitting there like 'cause it felt so random. It was like I'm gonna start a lawn care company. All the lawn care companies around me suck, so I think I can do better. And I was like, we're an affiliate marketing company. Like, what do we know about lawn care? And then I kind of felt justified in that feeling. Like you said, at first it didn't really go anywhere. I was like, yep, and that's what I thought. And then like it was cool that once we got in there and were able to kind of do what we did for it and see it come to life, that was like the first feeling of like us at Good Rep, we can do this. And
Yeah.
so that was like genuinely exciting. And so like, I'm not to like, air Joe's tires too much here, not to call him my mentor, but that was like it was one of those moments where it was like, oh, okay, he was on to something. Maybe he didn't think it through as much at the beginning as he should have, but that was like going to that scenario that I just talked about where it's like it's a business owner who had the means, the capital, and the know-how to start a new business and was able to do it really quick. And then it just took a few extra steps. He had to put the right people in place to get it going, and there was a disconnect there. But we
Yeah.
got there, and that's exciting.
Yeah, there's a lot of difficulties, and I think that's a highlight to have when you're starting off. There's going to be hurdles. Um, I know we're like hitting this nail on the head, but I feel like we've had a lot of really good back and forth about how long does it take to get a business off the ground because That lawn care company didn't get off the ground for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And we kept
Yeah.
at it because the main thing is what Joe brought to that vision is, hey, the lawn care companies here suck.
Yeah.
Like he said that, and he was right because we got ranked number one, and we're doing the best there, and we
Y-
accomplished the job. We're in the past year. It took us a season to become the number one ranked like lawn care company in that city, and that's just
Like
really phenomenal.
building, and this is probably gonna be a broken analogy here. It's gonna be stupid, but like building a business is kind of like building a puzzle that you accidentally, like, you might have a few extra pieces in the box and they may fit, but like you're not going to get the image you want if you don't have the right pieces. So you got to swap them out until you get all the right pieces in place, and then you have your picture. I feel like we had a business that we had, like, it was together, we had finished it, it was ready to go, it was a lawn care company, but you'd look at it and be like, something's not right here, that sky right there isn't the right color, and then we pull that out, we put the right piece in, oh, that looks better, now we got to fix this, pull that out, put that piece in, that looks better, and now we got a good picture, and
Yeah,
now we have a finished product and something to be happy with.
yeah. And if you're going into it with the idea, mind you, we are doing things on a different level. When we talk about that lawn care company, we didn't go into it with the idea of I want to run a lawn care company and go cut lawns. If
Right.
you're a small business owner, that might be where you're at. Like you might be, and I want to say mad respect. If you're 18, 20, you're that young kid right now who's like, yeah, I want to be a lawn care guy. I've got a big old lawn mower and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go hustle and find my clients. Hell yeah. That's the shit. That is absolutely what you need to be doing. That's not what we did because we didn't need to do that. We ran a successful marketing company. So we bought a truck and a team, and we had like a truck of 4 lawn care guys week one.
Yeah.
We started with a list of clients and we bought out another lawn care company. Mind you, when I say bought out, it was one of those guys who made it. He owned a lawn care company. He started it. He was the one worker. He might have had one other guy helping him, and we
Mm-hmm.
hired him. We bought his company and hired him, and now he runs the lawn care company for us. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of how we went about it. And so that's a very different scenario, but it's definitely a worthwhile thing to recognize. Your success is not going to look like your neighbor's success. If you're the one-off lawn care company, go hustle, set that success up for what you can manage. How many lawns can you do in a week? What would feed you? What is the minimum you need to make this your career? Figure out what that is and make that your goal and write it down and
Yeah.
say it every day.
Yeah.
Manifestations, man.
What do you think was like the biggest hurdle for the lawn care company, like in the beginning, that like was holding
Oh,
it back?
when you're first starting off, it's definitely you need to have an expert on the industry. Um, we because of how we function, we're marketers first, um, lawn care people second. We didn't have the lawn care expertise. We didn't know
Mm-hmm.
what we needed. We weren't sure of everything. And so I remember specifically with the lawn care company, we needed some specific types of insurance as well as some specific gear. We
Yeah.
needed to have some software for like actual like tracking and planning of routes and things like that. So there's a couple of the specifics that go into actually running a lawn care company where it's like, hey, we know how to do payroll and bank accounts and stuff like that, but we don't know how to.
Didn't we have to do something like we had a truck that like was like, oh, okay, here's a truck we can use to like pull the lawn care equipment around, but then it was like, oh, we have to like register this as like a commercialized vehicle or something like that, and it was like, oh, that, like, why, it's just used to pull a lawnmower, it's not like, but apparently it was part of the rules and things like that, and there were just little things that we didn't know getting into it.
Yeah, it's a bunch of the stuff that if you were someone who lived and breathed lawn care, this is what you would figure out. The issue is we went into it with, hey, we live and breathe marketing. I'm going to run these ads. I want the website up like this. We're going to do this type of funnel. We're going to follow up on these ads. This is what the phone number, all of this. We had everything online figured out. The actual in person management was what we struggled with. And I'm proud to say that we've gotten there.
Yeah.
We've
I,
definitely improved.
I wanted to touch on the in-person management there because I do remember part of the issue at the very beginning also being like, we would have people who like wouldn't show up for jobs and stuff. And I remember being like, oh, we should have expected that, because the whole reason we wanted to start a lawn care company was because our owner was running into issues with the lawn care companies and the issues not showing up for their jobs and stuff. And it's like, oh, we can do better than that. And then all of a sudden we hired probably people who had quit those jobs before, and then came to our lawn care company and did the same thing. And it's like, oh, that's something that like I think we should touch on a little bit, is like in the preparation stage of starting a business. Like if you're starting it for a reason, like, oh, this is what the other companies are doing wrong, we can do that right, you probably need to make sure you address that as soon as you start, be like, oh, okay, we need to make sure we are building around that issue, like we need to know like we're handling that.
Yeah, if you are if you're a lawn care company and your whole issue is the lawn care guys weren't showing up on time, and then when you create a lawn care company, you can't get your lawn care guys to show up on time,
It's like you should have known.
you
You should have
probably
seen that
you got to
coming.
recognize that that was going to be an issue and something that you were going to have to address. Oh my goodness. I do want to say, so there's a highlight here from Emily. Joe has a lot of knowledge to share for sure. I think he'd be a great mentor if he committed to it. That's what I want to see. He was on the Joey Matterhorn channel. He was active for a bit. He's been active in public speaking sometimes. He doesn't commit to it. He can't keep it consistent. He's got too much. He's starting too many lawn care companies. He's doing too many side projects, man. I'm gonna be real. Only 13 more lawn care companies.
It, like, since coming to Good Rep, I don't like have as much interaction with Joe as I did prior to.
Mhm.
And so like it almost feels to me like he's like taking a big step back with all these ambitions and things he's doing. But then I'm like, oh no, I'm just not seeing them as firsthand. Like I have to imagine for you, you're like, nope, he's got a billion different things he's trying to do right now. And it's like, oh, I thought he was slowly slowing down and focusing on these like individual things. And I'm like realizing right now, it's like, I just think I'm not seeing them as much.
Yeah, we're not going too hard on it.
No.
It's not great,
Yeah.
but
But,
there's always more
would you say
projects.
it feels a little better than, say, a year and a half ago? Like with how
Yeah,
Canada was. Yeah. That's awesome.
I
That's
would
great.
I would say that we're in a spot where we've more figured out what our game plan is, and we've more figured out
Yeah.
what our lane is, and we've also stepped in and been able to figure out a lot of what our projects are. So Good
Yeah.
Rep as an agency in its infancy needed a lot of oversight. And I think Joe did not have a lot of faith in Good Rep because it didn't, frankly, have a lot of success in that first year. We had a lot of difficulties. There was a lot of assumption on knowledge that we didn't have. And then in the past year and a half or so, we've definitely stepped up and upskilled ourselves. We
Mhm.
have proven track record of success. We've gotten multiple sites ranked. We're helping small businesses left and right. We're building client lists. We're building skills. We're building a portfolio. So, like, we've definitely earned a little bit more of that, like, trust, that acceptance. And in doing that, I think we've also kind of stepped past the need for a bunch of oversight of like, hey, let's try this. It's much more of me being the one to push all of the Joeisms. So
Yeah.
like instead of Joe coming to us with no context and being like, I need a landing page for this, it's me coming with some context saying, hey, I need a landing page and this is what we're going to use it for. And I need you, the project is
Yeah.
there. There's more of it. And it's like an actionable step thing that we're going to use.
Do you feel like
Less,
your job started as kind of like a Joe translator?
oh,
He
100.
doesn't
I
started
was
as.
just a funnel. A glorified mouthpiece.
Whoa.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. But so small businesses, if you're just getting off the ground, if you're like trying to start something off, I want to touch on this comment here, highlight it. Marketing in theory is one thing, but watching it pay off in real time is something else entirely. Y'all should be proud. You've done great work. We have. We've done great work for that. And we talked about it at the beginning of the show, vanity metrics. Cape Coral Lawn Care, I can show a lot of metrics that make that lawn care company look really, really good. The real metric of how well that lawn care company is doing is the fact that they have a bunch of customers.
Yes. I think ultimately like the ultimate non-vanity metric that you will have in any industry is just raw conversions. You know, it doesn't matter how they're obtained or anything. It's just like, did we get money? Did we do the service we provide for somebody? And if you can track that and count that, that will always be your most important metric.
Yeah, and it's worth noting you want to be able to track those metrics. So being able to tell and attribute, hey, so we ran a social media campaign. Here's how many conversions you got from that social media campaign. Even if it's not necessarily here's how many conversions, here's how many emails you got because you built up your email list. Those are the types of things that I see as extremely valuable. One of our clients, for example, they came to us last year with a list of about 450 clients in a CSV. They're like, hey, here's my list of clients. I'm using a new point of sale. I want to upload this list of clients and I want to grow it. And we're like, awesome. Let's get you new clients. Let's keep track. We're going to compare against this list of 450 customers that you came to us with. Those 450 customers that he'd previously had, those leads that he'd used, he'd built those up over years. In the past year, we've doubled that list. Period.
That's awesome.
That
He
it,
said
that
we talked about that in the call with him yesterday, and like
yeah,
that felt great.
exactly. That's not here nor there. He got some of those leads organically himself, undoubtedly,
Yeah.
but the rate of leads increased year over year by a lot. We've more than doubled his active list, and he's more than happy about
He's
that.
been doing this for a long time. Like he
Yeah,
has been in the industry for a long time, and to have 450 is a good number. Like so, but like to double it, like that's undeniably like that is our doing. You know, like you
exactly.
can't work for 20 years, get 450, then for 1 year get another 400. Like that's us doing something. And yeah, that's love that.
Exactly. And so being able to see those actual metrics that matter to you, you have more customers, you have more of their information. You can send out emails and you can see how many emails get opened and how many people respond, and you can get direct bookings from that.
Yeah.
That is actionable steps that you want to pay attention to and that actually matter to you. I feel like one of the metrics that I see used, I've definitely used it and mentioned it before. Impressions. Impressions is one where it's almost vanity. You
Mhm.
do you do want to use it. It's a worthwhile thing to take note of. But when someone tells you that your page has gotten 100,000 impressions, well, your website might just have 1,000 pages on it, and over the past 28 days, one of those pages got seen 100 times in Google, but it hasn't gotten any clicks.
Yeah.
If none of those impressions convert to clicks, it's not really valuable. Like you got saw, but you didn't get clicked on.
And that's one of those like buzzwords that like a marketer can take advantage of, like when we talked about earlier, where it's like, yeah, they may show you like, look at this, you got 100,000, look how big that number is, and it's like, yeah, but what does that mean? What did that turn into? What did that
Mhm.
get me? And if you can't relay that, again, vanity is the perfect word for it, because it's shallow, it's a hollow stat that doesn't mean anything if it's not actually converting for you.
Exactly. I think another one is social media. So like if you are starting a brand new social media account and you're like, I want a Facebook page, you can run a Facebook like campaign. I can get you 100 likes on your Facebook page. I can pay for them. Does it mean that people are going to engage on your content? No. Does it mean that you might have a little bit more engagement? Yeah. It means they might be a little bit more legit. Sure, but that's not a lot. That's not actual engagement. Those aren't people who are going to buy from you. Now, you have a little bit bigger of an audience. Is that bad? No. But when I can go and I can press a button and pay $50 for Facebook to give you 50 likes, and I can go to you and be like, "Hey, so I just got you 50 new likes on your page. Pay me $100." It's a difficult scenario for me to want to be in there doing that type of marketing. Now, that's valuable. It is 100% something that I think you should be doing. Getting social media likes, shares, follows, building out organic content, I think is really important. And running like campaigns is not bad. But understanding that just getting some social media likes does not automatically translate to more customers.
Yeah. Yeah. And how do you think, like, if you were a small business owner and like, let's not say go hire a marketing team to tell you,
Okay, okay.
what would be like your process for figuring out what metrics you should be focusing on?
So it would depend on what my general offer is. If I'm doing, for example, a card show, My general metric of like how successful I am would probably be how many sales I make versus what I'm taking in. So if I go to a card show, I would be how many cards did I buy, what product did I buy, how much did I spend on it, and how much did I sell it for. And I would keep a catalog of how much all of the product I have is worth, how much I spent for it, how much I sell it for, and then a running profit loss on all of that. That would be my setup of like organization for keeping track of everything. My pre-planning, my everything that I want to do is setting up myself for success in the future and keeping track of everything. Now if you're doing something online, it's a little bit different. If you're trying to build out, for example, like an email list, and you're like, hey, I make money by sending out emails of reviews that I write or articles that I write, email submits. I want to get as many emails as possible.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of other examples. I go back to Comfort all the time because I really do like Comfort sweats. They're a sweatwear. It's like clothing brand. They own a short code. They text out from their short code, "Hey, check out this new limited edition drop. Here's a discount. If you follow that link in your text, that gets attributed in the back end. It's a specific tracking link for text."
Yeah.
And so you're able to see, "Hey, that promo text that I sent out, that link is attributed in your tracking software." And that's Google Search Console. That's getting into like Search Console and Google Analytics.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the term SWOT analysis? SWOT.
Oh my god, I've definitely heard of that, but I can't remember offhand what it
So,
means.
so what that is that's an analysis of your business. You take a look
Yeah.
at it. You look at the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. Um,
Okay.
and now the reason I bring that up is because I believe the opportunity portion of that analysis is going to be where you are going to determine your most valuable metrics. You know,
Mm,
you when you look at it and you see, okay, these are all the chances that I am going to have to grow, to make sales, and to profit. That is when you are going to say, okay, then what do those look like? What do I need to look at to see if I am achieving those opportunities? So
yeah.
like that's when you start looking at, okay, this is my sales, or like if I'm just looking, if my opportunity, if I have an opportunity to like grow my business and get new contacts, start looking at your lead acquisition, start looking
Mhm.
at, different metrics like that, because the things that play into your opportunities are going to be the things that are going to grow your business.
Yeah. And we've talked about a number of different options for opportunities. So, for example, lawn care companies, we're going to hit the lawn care company thing. In the off season, when people are not getting their lawns done as much, what can you do? Can you do landscaping? Can you do Christmas light hanging? Can you volunteer and build goodwill with the community by doing different events? Can you do cleanup? And these are business questions as much as like community questions because, for example, in Florida, we wanted our lawn care company to be able to do disaster relief
Hmm.
when like tornado or hurricanes came through. We need to get specific insurance for that. We need to make sure that our guys are taken care of, that our teams are making like
Hmm.
safe as best we can before we can actually do that. And so we weren't able to help out last time because we didn't realize that was something we needed. We just wanted to like as an individual, you can go do whatever you want, but we can't, as a team, as a business, go out and help without some of those precautions in place.
Yeah.
And so, being able to kind of plan on those opportunity costs and think of those opportunities as what they are opportunities. Where what can you do differently? What can you step in and step up?
Yeah. Let's throw James's question up here really quick.
Hell yeah, I
I
got
would
you.
like to answer that. How can I be open and honest with a client, even employer, while still being impactful to gain their trust? I wanted you to bring that up because I almost think that that question answers itself. Because I think that being open and honest with a client is the best way to gain their trust.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to hide any. I think that that goes, and I know we've talked on it multiple times on different podcasts and just today in this one, but
Mhm.
like our massage client, I feel like we have a level of trust with him that like is going to carry us a long way. Like we aren't messing up. I don't think we're messing up with him in any way, but like if we did, I feel like we're at a point now with him where he's like, it's cool, guys. Like it happens. We're human. Because like we've been
Yeah.
talking to him the whole time, like, hey man, we're just human and we're learning this. And so like if we were to make a mistake, he'd be like, you've been telling me the whole time that this is possible. And I think that that will go a long way for us. So I guess to answer that question, I mean, I think you answered it yourself. Be open and honest because that's going to build that trust.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, as I always am, where where you're at mentally and where you're kind of at confidence wise matters as well. I
Hmm.
like to approach every situation, and we've talked about this, Jordan, with the whole like optimism thing, with the idea of we'll figure it out and then we follow through.
Yeah.
More than anything else, we'll hold ourselves accountable. And when we go to you and we mention, hey, for example, we talked about shooting videos and doing short form content. This is something new. We laid out the steps that we were going to follow. We're going to do those steps. We're going to accomplish the goal and we're going to come back with the information we said that we were going to come back with. And more
Yeah.
than anything else, clear communication and being able to follow through on the things that you say. Just be respectful, be
Yeah.
blunt and honest, treat someone
I
the way
mean,
you want to be treated. Golden rule,
you
man.
you said something in there too that I feel like I hadn't touched on when I talked about like how honest and open we are with him. Like we talk about like potentially being like, oh, we might not know what we're doing super well with this. And the way I'd say that right there does come across very unconfident. But when we say it to him, we're like, hey, we're excited to learn how to do this. Not like this is gonna be kind of hard for us. You know, like
Well,
we are confident about it because like we see that as an opportunity to grow.
and it also 100% depends on how you pitch it. I do think I've gotten better at this portion of it myself because when we talk about those scenarios, I and this is maybe a manager move to the core. I'll always mention, "Oh, I have a guy. I've got a guy. I've got someone. Oh, I know someone who's done this and I can reference them and their expertise." So, oh, videographer, I know plenty of people. I know this guy who's got a million views on TikTok. I know this guy
I
who's
know the
got,
best people.
I only know the best people. I only know the best people. They are the best. But realistically, I always will shoot to the I've got a guy. And I think
Yeah.
that's a really one useful skill to have, recognizing that the people around you have skills. Surround yourself with people who have skills and can be that guy. And two, don't be afraid to highlight and use that reference. You built that connection for a reason. I know this guy. I have this connection. We work together. We help each other. We're friends. I'm going to reference him and I'm going to use his expertise because
Yeah.
it's useful to me.
I
And
I had a friend one time who like was like, he was talking to me. He's like, you're someone who like something that like a trait that you have that you need to recognize and appreciate in yourself is that I'm able to like if someone's like, hey, what's going on with this and I don't know something, like I can pull out my phone, I can do the research right away and figure it out and come back with someone and be like, this is I didn't know the answer to your question, but I found it really quick. And then like when you can talk to someone and be like, I know a guy who can handle that. You're saying that that's essentially that same idea where it's like, I okay, I'm admitting that yeah, this isn't my expertise, but I have an avenue that I can take to get you that answer quick. And
yeah,
that is such a trait that like when you're around someone, you feel more comfortable with them. You feel more like they aren't going to let you down, that they're not going to stumble their way through, that they're already finding the right path to take to achieve the goal.
yeah. And honestly, it's one of those things coming into 2026 that I wanted to improve in myself is like I mentioned coaching and being able to kind of help support the people around me because I see myself much more in that role. And I talked this about I talked about this in therapy and actually with my partner Cassidy, where I always wanted to be a teacher. I originally was studying to be a teacher in college. And I'm kind of in that position now, not necessarily where I'm sitting here educating people, but I'm much more in like a coaching of, hey, I don't have the answer, but like go check out this resource, go try this. I have an idea of like this problem that I want to solve. I don't know how to do it, but here's a couple of resources. Go solve it. And it's much more of like it's kind of teaching, kind of coaching, and it's a
Yeah.
position that I really
Well,
do almost love for
as
myself.
long as I have known you, like you have always had a very respectable quality to you, and that is that you have always pushed for people to go beyond and like really like achieve. So like you believe in people almost more than they believe in themselves.
Well, you
And
gotta.
yeah, and like it's huge, you know, especially like, and that's why you fit in so well as like a team manager, because like you know that we can do the work well. You know, even
Exactly.
on days where I feel like I can't, you know that I can, and like it really helps push a lot. And I think going into like what we're talking about here is like a business owner, like starting a business, like filling your team to kind of get the ball rolling and stuff. If you can kind of take that similar mentality to your team, you're going to be able to build a business a little bit quicker and get it rolling faster, because you're able to put that type of faith and trust into your team and push them to do as best as possible.
Yeah, the psychology behind business is actually crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was reading in prep for this, talking about, okay, so you're starting off a small business. What do you need to succeed? You need small wins. We've mentioned it. You've mentioned it a number of times where you're like, hey, I need like sometimes I need that little treat before the
Kickstart.
big treat at the end so that I
Yeah.
can start the race. Like I think of it, if you've ever been on a marathon, I've never done one. I almost want to. I
I
almost
kind of
want to
do
like.
too. I hate running, so I don't know why I want to, but there is a part of me that wants to say I've done it.
Well, exactly. I don't want to do it. I want like the notoriety that comes from running a marathon.
Exactly.
Like, and that's neither here nor there. It's worth noting that's maybe a terrible motivation, but if it makes me run a marathon, does it really matter? Because then I ran a marathon. Like, be upset more.
I just want to hurry up and sidebar say this. I met like 3 years ago the guy who like ran the Grand Rapids like river run marathon and had a heart attack in the middle of it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you get his
Yeah, and
autograph?
I met him signing up for the Grand Rapids half marathon. I was like, that is
He's like, I can't do the
wild.
full one. We do halvesies now.
Yeah. Like that's crazy though. He's still doing it though. Like wild.
I mean, hey man, sometimes you got to do what you got to do, but very
Yeah,
much so.
sorry, I didn't
Like,
mean to sidebar off what your train of
oh
thought
no,
there.
no, you're good because I would love to do that purely to say that I've done it. And at this point in my life, say the wanting to say that I've done it is a good enough reason. And
Yeah.
fudge anyone who says otherwise. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for that.
I'm gonna ride
Um,
next to the Grand Rapids Marathon on my scooter, just buzzing by people.
that's disrespectful. That's probably the most.
I'm gonna cheer them on as I go.
See,
Yeah.
the thing is, and I talk about that. The last time I like ran, I don't want to. I don't know when I ran. I don't
I
remember when it
ran
was.
I ran to Meyer one day like a week ago, like just like picked up and like just did like a jog. And like by the time I was hitting like the garden center, I was like, I shouldn't do that.
I'm done with that. My
Yeah,
lungs
that's
are
smart.
hurting. Things are going hard here.
Yeah. I'm getting a scooter.
I'm getting the scooter. You take the scooter into Meyer.
I just drove it to Meyer this morning.
Can you drive it around in there?
No. I locked it up at the bike rack. But
Oh, I was like, you just go into Meyer on the scooter.
as soon as I walked in, I saw the asset protection guy, like the one that like would kick you out. I know him because he used to work at the store that I used to work at.
Yeah.
And so like as soon as I came in, I was like, I probably could have drove that in here and it'd be fine.
That would have been hilarious, man. Actually, that would have been hilarious. Also awful. Oh my
Okay, we gotta
gosh.
get something here. Oh,
Well,
we got Sarah talking about that monsoon that we had.
monsooning outside. I love the monsooning. It's my favorite verb. I love when it monsoons.
Oh, my brother just like he moved from LA to Boston, but like literally like as soon as he left, I don't know if you know this, but LA has been getting just rained on so heavily. They've had what's called an atmospheric river over top of LA, and it has just been like pouring rain. So I was like, it went from being so dry to a monsoon. Like just
Damn.
wild.
Weather's crazy, man.
It
And
is.
it's so we're gonna leave off on that. Thanks so much, guys. I'm gonna hit global warming real quick because global warming is not actually talking about how the globe warms. It is warming, but it is characterized by crazy freak weather occurrences, like monsoons over fucking California, and the crazy weather patterns we have, and really hot days in the middle of winter and shit like that.
Yeah, just like a 50-degree pouring rain day in the middle of Michigan in January.
Yeah, just whatever. It's that, but no, global warming's not real. Fuck the climate. We don't
It's
do that
not.
shit.
It's not. I got a bigger conspiracy than global warming. All right, the government has a weather control device.
Birds are fake. Government controls the weather. We're all here for it. But hey, thanks so much for joining us. Remember, we've been live. We're both part of Good Rep Media. Good Rep Media is a small business marketing agency. We help small businesses rank better on Google. And if you are a small business, if you're thinking of starting a small business, if you know anyone who does start and run a small business, you should probably introduce them to us. We offer free 30-minute consultations. Let me just put a link up here real quick. Goodrepmedia.chat or goodrep.media/chat. That link might not be working. Calendly, which we use as one of our software or programs, has been down recently. So you might have to go to goodrep.media and just check us out, which goodrep.media, go check us out. Free 30-minute consultations. We help small businesses rank better on Google. I'll tell you how you can do a little bit better with your online presence for free without needing to pay me anything. And then I'll tell you why you should pay me something because you're missing a lot more than you think. Did I miss anything in there?
No, I just saw Sarah also saying that she believes that there's weather control devices out there. No, but I will say this: if Calendly is down and like you're having any trouble getting in contact with us, you can also contact us through an email. We have goodredmedia@gmail, just a very simple one that you could probably send out an email on right there. Cody, you have personal emails. I don't know if you wanted to like drop them or anything.
Yeah, Cody at goodrep.media. Hit us at Cody at goodrep.media, Jordan at goodrep.media. We're pretty basic, simple.
We'll get
Probably
in
got to
there.
put our
We'll
last name
conduit
on there one of these days.
What's that?
Probably got to put our last name on there one of these days, don't you think? There's not enough of us. Like, we're a small enough team.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what other Jordan am I being confused with?
Well, what about if I hire another Jordan? Like, what if I hired another web dev Jordan?
Don't.
you make a strong argument here, but all right, guys. We will see you next week on Monday at noon on the Joey Matterhorn channel. We're gonna be talking about mentors. I know I mentioned Joey Matterhorn himself as a possible mentor figure.
We need to get Joey back on here.
I want him to be back. I'll be excited if he wants to. Honestly, next week's a good one, Jordan. I'll work on it. I'll work on it. It'd be a good one. And then next week on Tuesday at noon, come join us back on the Good Rep Media channel. We're going to be talking about boosting your productivity, how to change your plans into actions. Because, in case you didn't realize, planning can take up all of your time and then you never do anything. And that's really bad. So join us next week. Come check us out. Remember, goodrep.media if you want to chat with us, if you own a small business, if small businesses are your thing. And thanks so much for joining us on today's episode. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys